There we go.
Happy Fishy Friday.
Happy Fishy Friday, everybody. Man, sometimes water just tastes so good. All right, so welcome to the show. We're here. It's been a long week. I know you guys have been following along and seeing everything that we've done, but I tell you what, it seems like we haven't even got a chance to sit down and relax yet from the legacy. It's been crazy. You're on, you can hear it, sounds okay. Oh, yeah, we're up. Okay. So Jerry's got a special little word for you today for the drinking word. What is it, Jerry?
Opinion.
He come up with couches.
Yeah. Everybody seems to have an opinion on it.
Yeah, buddy.
Here's my opinion, couches.
You sue you. You know, I go on and I make these videos and I try and keep everybody hooked up to us, and this is what we're doing. You know, stay up with us. You miss a day, it's okay. We're still doing, you know, stuff the next day. And somebody every once in a while just picks off something out of that video and just, it's such a huge deal. It blows my mind.
Goes completely sideways.
Wow. Chris 10, welcome to the Catfish.
Yeah, welcome, Red Tail. Chris 10M.
Bob Taylor says sight and sounds way okay. Except for them two old guys you got on there.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to start this off with, because I just seen the message. I got in the mail something, and it says, see, I went and got glasses. I can see far with, and I'm supposed to be able to see with the bifocal part up close. It's still blurry. So I got to take my glasses off to read. It says, it's Sabrina on YouTube, for Love of Humor on YouTube, from Kalamazoo. I wanted to surprise you with this. I designed it recently, and since I was ordering these tees for my website, I added this to my order. I never approached you with this OFR design yet, but timing just seemed a bit critical. It seems you could use a little cheer this spring and hope you like it. I guessed your size to be comparable to my husband. Yes, 3X was my size, but, you know, I'm thinking, oh, this is great. I got me a new shirt, you know, and then here, here's what happens. Anytime I have a contest between me and my son, for some reason, he always wins, okay? Ouch. And here's the thing. He can cheat, he can sneak, he can do whatever you want. He still wins, right? We made a thing because Josh was complaining about all the extra, you know, decorations laying around here. I'm trying to put them up in tubs and boxes, and I'm getting them stacked up. He's like, we need to get rid of these decorations. I'm like, okay, Josh, let's me and you host. We're building these two tanks anyway. A build-off. You take whatever you want out of there. I'll take whatever's left, and we'll have a build-off. And he started off with, well, I don't like these rocks here. And they were the shelf rocks, like limestone or something. So I'm like, okay, I'll use all the shelf rocks. You can have everything else. Well, I go and I stayed up all night and I built my tank. And he comes out in the morning, and I didn't even watch him. I'm doing all kinds of other work and stuff. Here, this little SOB goes out to the backyard in the river and grabs rocks and you know, driftwood and all this stuff. And he builds a natural scape in the water. Well, of course, that's going to win against, here's some decorations we're trying to get rid of. And he didn't follow the rules. The rules were there to help him because he wanted to get rid of the decorations. Now, everybody voted they liked his better. Even though he broke the rules. No one seems to care. So this time here, I'm like, I liked Raiden from Mortal Kombat. And we're trying to name the new eel. And he liked Watson. Out of all the ones we come up, that's the two that we're down to. So, you know, we go and we put up a poll and everything and get everybody, you know, voting on it. And he wins. The fish gets named Watson. And then one of my devoted followers sends me this t-shirt. Watson. Now, to me, that's kind of like making fun of, you know, you lost. But it's an awesome shirt. It's great. Thank you, Sabrina. I didn't know what to think of it when I first pulled it out until I read that. You know, you weren't part of that whole discussion. I was like, is this someone trying to tell? Are they laughing at me? Are they making fun of me because I lost? You know, I didn't know until I read this letter. So thank you very much, Sabrina. Came with a bunch of stickers too. So once again, thanks, Sabrina. But I wanted to let you know the story because when I opened it, I'm like, the hell? So, you know what? I should put that over my back that way, or over the back of my chair. Every time I have to get up, they can see it, like the Rodrigo Cortez shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a rubberized silk screening. It will wear out badly if you're rubbing against it, if you're leaning back in the chair all the
time. Do we sell OFR shirts? Underneath every single video we put out, there's a shelf, and it has t-shirts from Teespring. You can order whatever size you want. They'll print it and send it right to you. Yes, we sell shirts. I tried at first. I bought like $2,000 in t-shirts, and they were all white. I had them for like 2 years trying to get rid of them, trying to sell them without getting them dirty, you know, and you know, around the house, they're laying out. I'm having to move them all the time. And it was just too much hassle. So now we use Teespring, which, you know, we make like $1 off each t-shirt, you know, because everybody's prices are so high that I can't raise it $5. Their shirts are $21. So I put it for 22. I don't want to, you know, try and gouge anybody or nothing. That's just crazy. You should turn on the closed captions. It should work. Vasilisa Garland says, I'm deaf, but watching on my TV. Wish there was CC for lives. There should be. I don't see why there wouldn't be.
No, there isn't on the live stream normally.
Until after?
If she hits in a caption, if she's got the technology for her deafness, it'll translate. Basically, what it does is take English and it puts it into writing on the screen rather than translating Spanish into English.
And Demon was saying what I was going to say is captions will work later tonight on the replay.
I don't know what the technology is, but I know it's available.
Oh, Terry Time's here. She's always first on all of our videos. Well, I'd say 99.9% of them. Why don't you sell Rodrigo Cortez t-shirt? I don't know. I didn't think it would be a good seller. It was funny when I said it, you know, when I did it, it was funny.
You kind of got to be in on the joke in order for that one to work.
And someone sent that one in to me too because they thought it was funny. It wasn't something we had printed.
Yeah, that will go over at the Mod Picnic, but that's about the only place you'd be able to sell that one.
Terry Time says, I've watched every video since the rescue of Betty. That's basically when our channel started. You know, before that, I just put out every once in a while a video that I wanted to remember or something, you know. Louis Dazzle says, love the content, guys. Keep up the good work. Do you guys ever do any fishing? I used to go fishing a lot. Death Chart says the Shut Up Roger t-shirt. I still got that too, yeah. I used to go fishing a lot, but it was always catch and release type thing. And I haven't gone in many, many years. I thought I was going to start going. Remember when Skylar first started hanging over here? She likes to go fishing all the time. I thought I was going to go with her, but we ended up never going fishing. Oh, no. Tyler Kurt says we got to make shirts saying getting fishy with Richie and getting hairy with Jerry. Uh-oh. Legacy Aquarium opens April 21st.
According to Matt.
Oh, you had to throw that in there like a
Yeah, I'm only responsible for what I say, not for what you hear. That's what Sabrina should be saying right now. Wasn't meant that way, but yeah, Rich, auction the tea for the rescue. Sabrina's got you covered.
And then you give me a slight excuse and then change my direction of my thought process.
Good. I
It's
do that
something,
more
Jerry.
often.
Yeah, everybody's excited for the Legacy to open. Oh, that's directly from Lori's mouth today on our video.
I haven't watched it.
Shauna said same thing. Oh, so good. They're going to be finally open.
Well, it might have sounded like it, but I wasn't calling bullshit.
Why does Jerry keep the water so low in the tanks? I'm not the only one, Jerry.
I would rather have the water low in the tanks than find a fire eel on the floor in the morning.
Not one of those tanks have a fire eel in them right now.
There's 2 fire eels in the 180, along with the.
Okay, so the 180 could be low. What about the other 9, 10 tanks?
We'll go out there in the morning and pick a goldfish up off the floor first thing. I do.
There are lids, and I do close them every time I walk by out there. You guys leave the lids open and leave the water down.
Have lids. Those lids will not work.
They're on the tanks.
No, they're not.
There's lids on the tanks right now. Yes, there are.
Okay.
They're just folded back and open.
Yeah, because you can't close them because of the structure of that 2x4 frame.
You're talking about one tank underneath. I'm talking about the tanks on top. I don't never touch the tanks on bottom. I don't bend over. The tanks up top.
Fair enough to argue.
All them tanks have lids on them. Oh, Skylar's here. I'm driving, so I'm not going to be able to chat really, but just wanted to say hi to everybody. Ah, okay. Hi, Skylar. Wow. Okay. I didn't even see she popped on here. Skylar hasn't been around for a while, and I don't know when she will be able to get over. But the thing is, she's working full time now. She works with her mother. She actually got 2 jobs. So she's working at her mother's business, and she's also doing another job on the side. So she's pretty busy all the time. For the people that wondered why she's not around. The fish in the background she likes seeing. Okay. Well, we can always change that whenever you get tired of them. You let us know. Hello, Big Rich and Willie Nelson. Skylar traded fish in for horses. Yes, she did. She works at a saddlery, yeah. Oh, and stay posh with Josh. Oh, that's hilarious. Where's Loki? At Skylar's house. I told you, I told everybody. You know, yeah, I bought it for Tracy, but, you know, Skylar and that cat were like inseparable. And then when it came down to when Skylar first moved out, that cat was here for like a month, and I did not take care of it nowhere near as good as Skylar did. I didn't want to be changing the kitty litter box and feeding it every day and all that. I was like, Skylar, take him. He's yours. Skylar says he's living his best life now. Eat me, Skylar. You know I gave him to you. Where's the thank you in that? Not he lives better with me. You know what I'm going to say about that? Couches. Eyes of a Vulture says, your goonch is my star #1 fish. The big one or the albino one? Yeah, and that was another thing. Another reason that I gave him to Skylar was Here, we had to keep him in my bedroom. You know, he stayed there because once Skylar moved out, she used to keep him in her bedroom. Once Skylar moved out, he had to stay in my bedroom. I couldn't have him roaming around and having cat hair around Tracy in the hospital room in the living room. So it wasn't fair for the cat either. So it was better off just give Skylar the cat. Skylar loves that cat. I mean, that's all there is to it. She was heartbroken over it. It was in the cat's best interest. So is she beeping?
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Other couches, people. Yeah. I don't know what to say. Not much of it. Funny thing is, you know, when it comes to doing the tours and stuff, I enjoy it. I talk and I've got something to say, but when it comes to just a conversation and chatting with you guys, I'll follow your lead on these things, ask some questions. The best way to get our attention is to do one of those super chats. So
All right.
if you want a question answered or something.
You took me way back up to the beginning. Now this ain't working. Last week it worked. There we go. Tyler Kerr says, I'll come from New York and you go fishing and we can cook some food and you can tell me some stories, drink a couple beers. I'd love to hear your stories. Oh man, you don't want to get around me, this guy, Reaper, and just sitting around the fireplace or something. It's nothing but stories. The first time is great. Your 10th time, not so good. Sebastian says, have you considered planting perennials around the back pond? That's all we plant. We don't mess around with nothing except for around Tracy's pond in the front. I will put out, she got her gold, I think they were impatiens, and then gold marigolds. But you know, once a year she'd go up there and she'd get the red impatiens and then marigolds and put them all around her pond. That red and gold color she loved. So I still do that for her. But other than that, I won't buy plants if they don't come back every year. Tyler said, did you ever collect records? Yeah, I used to have. I still have some albums in there that I won't get rid of. Okay, Thin Lizzy had an album they put out. I forget the name of it, but there was flames on the front above all 7 members or something like that. And then a couple of them died in a car crash, and they re-released that album without the flames. I have that album with flames. I could never get rid of it. I've got Ted Nugent, Double Live Gonzo. Still, I mean, I played the tar out of that album. That's when Stranglehold first came out, and Great White Buffalo and all that. And then I've got Kiss Alive too. All my Zeppelins, quite a few Rushes, a bunch of Iron Maidens, The Gods. I still have an album. They've been sitting packed away for probably 20 some years. I haven't even pulled them out. I remember because when I went to move over here, they were still packed up from the move to my last house. So I just left them in the same box and brought them over here, and they're still sitting in that box. So, okay, how many people are here? Let's go ahead and check here. 163. I mean, I guess I can start the Tracy update. Usually we wait till we're over 200. But, all right, somebody mark down what time we're starting the Tracy update. Okay, so this week with Tracy, let me see. The nurse was making fun of me today because, you know, Friday I have to get up and I have to do the live stream. I have to do all this stuff, and I still have to get a shower in there sometime. So I got up and I finally got my shower in. I come out and I always come out and give Tracy a kiss on her forehead and so, tell her good morning, stuff like that. And as soon as I come out there, the nurse is like, she's been sleeping. And I'm like, that's okay. Tracy knows me. And I reached down and I kissed her on her forehead. And I'm like, good morning, honey. And she just had this big stink face look and went, and turned away from me. The nurse was making fun of me of what I did now. What did you do wrong? She's mad at you. So I'm like, okay, that was just a fluke thing because I don't do nothing wrong. Tracy's never mad at me. So about an hour later, I come back in. Tracy's wide awake now. I look down and I look her in her eyes and I'm like, hi, honey. And she did the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, now you're giving me a complex. So I don't know why or what, but yeah, I was pissing her off today for some reason. She did not want me around. And the nurse thought it was funny as can be. She hasn't done it since. I've talked to her many times since then, but it was just, I guess, the mood she was in or whatever. I don't know. Chris O says, can I request Jerry to narrate a tour if I schedule one? Yes, you can. You give this man any reason, any chance at all to talk, he's happy. Okay, so anyways, all of her orders and everything's come on time. We've got her supplies all back in order. Nothing really big and new has happened with her. Let's see what else. We've got a great nurse team now, so she's pretty much staying 99% pampered and comfortable looking. I don't know. She's done really good this week. We hardly have to mess with her. It's getting so much easier to take care of her. Before, like when she was getting sick and all that kind of stuff, every 10, 15 minutes you had to suction her out. Now you suction her out once an hour or something. It's not so bad. She's once every 2 hours even. She's been coughing it out herself now. So, I mean, we barely have to mess with her. And then I don't have to go internal. I just put the suction machine up to her trach and let it suck for like 2 seconds. It takes out a little clog right there and boom, she's back clear again. She's been coughing it out herself. So, I mean, it's so much easier to take care of her. Anything else? I can't remember anything else happening. Oh, our night nurse, she loves Tracy so much. She found pink garbage bags that smell like cherry blossoms. And she had to buy them for Tracy because everything else on Tracy's is pink, except for my garbage bags are white. So she bought Tracy that. And she's the one that does Tracy's nails all the time. And I thought it was adorable. So let me see what else. Let me think of anything else. We moved her machine in from the kitchen, her oxygen concentrator, from there to the edge of the bed. And we had to put a plastic tray under it to protect the carpeting. And now it's in here. We shortened up the hose. So instead of using a 50-foot hose, we're only using like 12 foot. And it made a big difference. So we had to turn down her number from, I think it was on 4. Now she's on 3 all the time. So, I mean, it just seems like everything's getting simpler. Now that we've got all the supply house, problems worked out and they're sending everything that we need. The new nurse is, I mean, fully trained and capable. She's taken over. Now she's even taken over all my ordering and doing stuff. Today, she didn't tell me that, hey, Rich, we're getting low on this pill or that. She just called the pharmacy and did it on her own. And that's what, Mara used to do is she handled everything. And then I had to take over all this on all these new nurses we got. So she's taken over and just doing great, the new nurse. And, every time I go out there, she's always fiddling with her, doing her hair up, messing with her, changing her clothes, putting it in the chair, doing this stuff. And I'm like, wow, okay. So it's like Tracy has a best buddy out there, And I even said something to her about that. She's, yeah, I talk to Tracy all the time. I tell her all my problems and this and that. And she just listens. She had me laughing. So yeah, Tracy's got buddies she talks to, or they talked to. Oh, we had one lady come over, wanted to volunteer. She brought her daughter over, and they were telling me about this, eye thing. And I'm like, yeah, the eye something to where it can tell where your eye's looking, and it can help a person, talk. And she goes, but even before that, you can just do an eye board. And I'm like, what's that? And she told me it's like a square board here and a square board here. One's red and one's green. One says yes, one says no. And, they're far enough apart. So I'm like, this makes sense because Tracy can look there for yes and look there for no, from each board. So I got me a 1x4, 2 pieces of cardboard, glued it to it. Putting a stencil on it now for yes and no. And I'm going to hold that above Tracy when I talk to her and see if she can move her eyes towards one or the other. If she can do it, awesome. That's one thing I never thought of. So we got that going today or in the last couple days. And hopefully, that works. I have to go up to Home Depot tomorrow and get some stencils, though. I don't want to just take a marker and mark on there yes or no. I want to make it really stand out and vibrant colored, bright white on the, like green is the yes and red is the no. And if she can do that, we can make a whole language built up around that, and just ask her yes or no questions like, are you hurting anywhere? Okay. Look at yes when I point to it. I'll point to her knee, behind her knee, her leg, her butt, her shoulder, her head, and she can tell me when, if that's possible. That's going to be great. So I'm hoping on that. I got my fingers crossed on that. Oh, look at that! It's still jumping with doing the buttons.
Well, I think you're going back. You were on hold while you were talking.
No, I'm still haven't seen none of this. Oh, Vasila says, or Vasilisa says, I can read lips when you don't cover your mouth. I'm just laughing when I'm covering my mouth. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. But sorry. I know some sign language. Maybe you'll get a kick out of this. Tracy's brother was deaf, okay? And I was working painting houses. So he wanted a job. So I asked my boss, and he said, sure. But he didn't know about the whole sign language thing. So I told him that this means hello, friend, which it does not. It means F you. And then I said, this means, wait, what I said? Oh, that this means, nice to meet you. And that, or this. Nice to meet you. And that means asshole. So Tracy's brother comes to work and he gets out of the car and he's like, fuck you, asshole. But he thinks he's saying, it's nice to meet you. I'm dying on the ground. I'm rolling. I'm laughing. It was so funny. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was funny.
You got to watch him like a hawk. I was talking to this lady in the grocery store aisle one day, and he yells down the aisle, "Come on down, so I'm going to take you back to the rest home."
I said all kinds of things. He don't want to tell you. But I was like, Grandpa, it's time to change your diaper. Let's go. And he didn't want to admit them.
But they almost had us removed from this. It was fun.
Matt LeMay sporting a Team Tracy t-shirt. Anime Lifestyle said she sounds like a really badass nurse. She is. And yet she's only like 110, 120 pounds. She tiny little thing. But she got all kinds of, energy.
She's good people.
Yeah. I guess Whip's here. Hey, what's up, Whip? Matt LeMay says, love how you love your Tracy. Well, here, I got a little video. This is why. Tracy got bit by a dog, and she had to go get stitches. And instead of laying in bed like she's supposed to, she's outside helping me with the loading up to go do a rescue. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm helping. I'm like, get back inside and lay down and put your foot up. She's like, I ain't got time for that, you know? And, well, I got a video here, but I just described the whole video. So, but yeah, that's just the way she was. I mean, you have to make her sit back and relax, you know? See, Vasilisa, I knew sign language so long ago. I can't remember all of it. You know, she said it was like A, B, C, D, E. I don't remember, but when you don't use it, you forget it. I remember this and this, though.
As long as you know when you're being cussed at.
Right. OG Boston says Rich is a grown-up version of the kid whose parents say, we can't take you anywhere. This is true. Oh, one time, oh my God, I had Skylar. We were up supply shopping, and Skylar was, you know, looking down the aisles. And she went to ask somebody something. So I thought, this is my chance. Because, you know, everyone thinks Skylar's young, right? I walked up to this lady, and I'm like, ma'am, she's embarrassed to ask you, but she wants to know where you can find birth control. And isn't it just terrible that a 15-year-old is asking for birth control? I mean, I am so mad. And Skylar's like, I started laughing. I couldn't keep it up. I couldn't keep it up. It was so funny though. Raheem says, couch, couch, couch. Drink up, guys. So Ann's talking about somebody being a little slow. I think she's looking in the mirror.
Yeah, he's talking about you.
I figured she's talking about me.
No, she's talking about you ignoring Whip.
I'm not ignoring him. I said I see he's here. Someone's saying hi to him, so I said hi.
Yeah, you were ignoring what he was saying, though. I guess he tried to poke you.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to.
Like he says, you want us to definitely see something, put a super chat in there. You know, I can't help it.
From now on, all you negative talking people have got to put it in a super chat. You got to pay to be negative now.
I would love this. I forget who said that.
I wish there was a switch you could do that.
Yeah. You want to put up a negative comment, it costs you.
Yeah, right. Reverse cuss jar.
Anime, right. Anime Lifestyle says, going to pop the ring. I remember you said you're going to ask her to marry you when she wakes back up. Well, See, Tracy, that's all she ever wanted was to be remarried to me. But because of what she did to me, I didn't believe any of that. You know, I thought she's just faking it. But, you know, 20 years of faking it, shit, I'll take that. I mean, she was good to me, and I just didn't see it. I didn't know it. You know, I didn't, you know, it tricked me once, you know, on me twice it's on me, that type of thing. I just didn't see it, so I would never remarry her. But, you know, she went to an early grave wanting to be married to me, so that's the least I can do is, you know, I'm taking care of her. So if she wakes back up and she can say, yeah, I will remarry her right then and there. And, you know, I know that she's not going to wake up and be normal. She's going to have to wake up and have, you know, years of you know, physical therapy. Maybe she might never talk again. Maybe she not never walk again. But, you know, I'm just saying she deserves to live out her life happy. And if that makes her happy, I'm going to do that for her.
Couches, everybody.
Shauna says, when do you think you'll be ready to put another arapaima in the monster pond?
I was ready to
put. I was ready to put some in before he passed. I mean, I don't know. I've got a 30-incher in the 4400 now. He's a little too small to go in there. And anybody else that thinks their Pima is too big for their tank, we'll gladly take them. We'll put them in right now. Vasilisa says, you're a man for being brave enough to speak the truth. Oh, I respect that. Well, see, What people don't understand is I had that brain surgery and I couldn't remember nothing. You know, for years, 2 years afterwards, I had to write down everything. So that's when I changed my life completely. I just don't lie now. I just tell it like I see it because I can remember that. I remember how it happens. I don't remember how it happened in the story I told about it. It's too hard. Too much in life now. So now if you ask me, be careful what you ask for because you're going to get the truth.
It's a lot of wasted brain space trying to back up all them lies.
It says, "Hey, Rich, are you going to have any 150s at the sale?
No,
I don't have any 150s right now. I know a 240 will be out there. I think a couple bigger ones than that. And maybe a 125. Right now I don't have a 150, so I don't think so, unless we get any in before then.
with all the traffic around here, it's almost impossible to say what all is going to be out there.
Man says you're already married. You don't need a damn piece of paper. That woman is your wife. Yes, absolutely. Nice. Brutally honest. There's a good word. That's what I'm all about. I like that.
I'm as honest as you'll let me be.
Bambi. She says men are learning they don't catch up to women maturity wise until they're in their 40s. Oh. Chris 10M says Kayla and I will come out and help clean everything up before you have your sale. I will come out anytime to help. Awesome. But you said Kayla. Is Chris the mom? You guys were just here the other day volunteering? I never know. I have to learn everybody's names in real life,
Yeah.
and then I have to learn their on-screen names again. So don't hold it against me.
Yeah, the only catch is to call and please call ahead and let us know. So we got something to do. Know what we're going to be doing.
Which fish grows faster? Red tail. This is from Prince Vino. Red tail catfish or arapaima? Absolutely the arapaima. Not even a question. Let's say a red tail at a year old and an arapaima at a year old. They're definitely arapaima's bigger. Matt LeMay, yes, brutally honest, absolutely described you. I hurt people's feelings and I don't mean to. Don't ask me the question. I just tell you the truth. I'm sorry. She said, yes, sir. Kristen and Kayla. Well, I read Chris, so I got to think it's a guy. Here it's you.
Yeah.
Not worry if you don't recognize my screen name. Okay. They came out and helped us out the other day for a few hours, and they were the ones that brought up the yes no board and all that. So thank you for that. Thank you. That's something. Something so simple just passed by me. I'm trying to get the eye gaze that recognizes Tracy's eye movements and all that, and it's like so expensive and all that stuff. So Ashley Smith says it's 85 today. I don't know where you live, but it's barely 50 today.
Lucia Garland says, I love the red tail. I said, which one? Oh my goodness. You got a mess of it.
I agree with you, Vasila or Vasilisa. I agree with you 100%. Well, like, okay, Skylar, when she moved in here, she got hurt a lot. I mean, she took everything I said like so seriously, and she got her feelings hurt a lot, and it took a long time for her to get past. You know, it's just Rich. You know, I don't. It takes a whole lot of thinking and all this to figure out what you're going to say so as not hurt people's feelings and do all this stuff. And I just don't have time left in my life for that. So I just say, hey, that shirt don't look good on you. Oh, what do you mean? I love this shirt. Well, I'm just saying, you know, and now she's sitting there all upset because, you know, I didn't like her shirt. So, I mean, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Oh, she's from Tennessee. Says it's 85 out.
Oh, somebody must have something negative to say.
Sue Ann says that they wanted to let me know that they won't be for the sale this year. The van won't make it.
Too bad. Sorry.
Yeah, there goes a OFR tradition gone. They were coming out every year for this live stream, staying for the weekend, and they got their own bedroom.
When they're here, yeah.
Yeah. Tyler says, don't be a snowflake. Grow up, take it on the chest, let it bounce off. Chris gave $20, said, I so hope it works. We can raise money so we can get the eye reading vision board. Yep. Thank you so much, Chris. She's such a sweet lady.
That was a hell of a job.
Yeah, it was. All right. Oh, just a little information. This whole time that we bought that new 3,500 gallon steel tank to replace the 3,000 because it was leaking. It stopped leaking when we delivered that tank inside, and it has not leaked a day since. So I was like, okay, great.
Now you're gonna jinx it.
Oh no, it's already jinxed. If you go out there, it's wet. It's leaking again. So it took over right where it left off, same size leak and everything. So now it's going to step up because we have to vacuum up water every day from it. We can't fix it. So we have to vacuum up water every day from it. We had put that strap around the bottom and that helped for a while, but it's coming to the end of its lifestyle. But what I'm going to do with that tank though is I want to try and get it out of the fish room in one piece and then, you know, buy a new glass for the big steel tank. Because I would like to have that, you know, let's say this is the pond in the backyard, the deck's up here. Then I can put the 3,000 gallon tank on this side over here, make a steel stand for it and prop it up on the hillside. And we can actually have koi up in there too. You know, like when we get a bunch of koi in, they can go in that 3,000 gallon tank. And if it leaks, it's not a big deal. You know, leak right back down to the pool or the pond. And get more use out of it before it falls apart.
Yeah, on top of that, some of those koi actually look nicer from the sides than they do from the bottom. One where has many stripes as a tiger. They look black from on top.
Sarah Carroll says, do you sell digital downloads of the footage of the fish to raise money? If you don't, you should. You should. The best screensavers ever. I know nothing about it. Digital downloads, huh? I can surely make that easy enough. Let me put that in my phone as a reminder. Okay. I got right above do laundry. Digital.
On the list right after
Vote.
laundry.
Well, actually, I finished laundry. It's in the dryer now. But oh shit. Street Survivors is the name of that album. Yes, thank you. It's a bit behind. You said you had Thin Lizzy on, but it was Leonard Skinner, not Thin Lizzy. Jesus Christ! Wow, My memory's gone. Yes, it was Leonard Skinner. Remember, a few members died in the airplane crash. You know, it was horrible. But yes, it was Street Survivors was the name of that album. I still have that, With the Flames. Thanks, Craig. O.G. Foster says, I have a fishy phone background from someone random. Would prefer OFR. All right, I'll look into that stuff. SJC 2025 says, hello from Norwich, England. Hope you guys are well. Hello. Am I saying that right? Is that Norwich, England? Or Norwich, you know, silent
Norwich?
C?
All depends on your pronunciation. They don't all pronounce it the same in England. They've all kind of got their own little regional dialects too.
Ross Dingle says, Big Rich, is the dog bone stand finished? Yes, it is. It's painted, it's dried, another day or two of curing because it's a 2-part epoxy. But yes, it is finished. Actually, I have some community service, them 2 boys, Hayden and his little brother. They're coming over tomorrow to get in the pool to dismantle that wall so that we can put the stand in there before Greg Wissack gets here. See, and digital prints are something we can give out to our members and stuff like that. Have like a directory there that they have access to. Or sell to the public. I don't know. Tyler says his dad had tickets for the concert when that happened. And he said he never gave the tickets back for an exchange tickets. And I asked him where they are. And he goes, I don't know. I wish he did. Yeah, that's one thing. I had when Led Zeppelin came to Cleveland, they were going to play at Richfield Coliseum, and I had gotten tickets, and I was going to go, and then some reason it all got canceled, or no, that was a different concert. Some reason I didn't make it to Zeppelin, and I thought to myself, I'll catch them next year, and they never came back. I never got to see Zeppelin in concert, never. That's one thing it just kills me inside. I should have went.
If those unused tickets would be worth a fortune nowadays too.
As she say, SJC 2025 says, I'm glad your face is cleared up. It's not completely cleared up. I still got a little bit left on the side. Like when I try and drink through a straw, my one lip works, the other bottom lip don't work at all. So there's still some there. It's way better though. Way better.
Demon says couch. It looks like it says demon couch. Good shot.
Yeah, so the pond guy is coming back. When's he coming, Raheem says? He had called and said it would be next week, which would have been this Monday or Tuesday. But then they got something happened with Camp Kenan and all that. So now they put it off until the end of April. They're coming. So 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Miss Elisa says, what's still there? Something wrong or happened to your face? Yeah, 2 or 3 live streams ago, I couldn't move one whole side of my face. It was this side. It wouldn't move at all. My eyebrow, my cheek, my lips, nothing. I was laughing and smiling and talking out of one side of my face. And it just quit. It just stopped working. And then every day it's gotten better. I was taking videos every day of me smiling so I can see the difference from yesterday. And it's still there a little bit, but it's people don't notice it now. You might notice it now that I said it, that this side here or this side here don't open as much, but I'm looking at a reverse picture on the screen of myself, so I'm sorry.
Super chip.
Oh, yeah.
92. $10 said my wife and I are very pleased to meet you this past
Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now we know who Super Chip is. That tall guy and his wife was here.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, the one where your wife was
that?
embarrassing you?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess it's got to stand out somehow.
It couldn't be his height. I mean, he's 2 foot taller than her. Nope, she had to embarrass him. I called her out on it, and it was all funny though.
I was wondering if I was going to ask him to go past the stand there on the that was close.
Yeah, it was very, very nice meeting you guys too.
Yeah.
Your wife was great.
Enjoyed
You were great. I enjoyed having you here. I hate this jumping thing. Okay. Stephen Machin said, I gave my friend $17.50 for Zeppelin tickets when it got canceled. So it was the one that got canceled. And I think he owes me some interest now. Yeah, I see. I don't remember if it got canceled or what. That was, 30 some years ago. I don't remember, but I remember I didn't get to go to that concert. Whether it was my fault or it got canceled, I didn't get to see him then. And I never got to see him after that. And that's one thing I always regretted. There's certain things in your life you live with the regret. That's one thing I regret. Oh. He goes, that's the one. Sean says it's really not noticeable, Rich. I still see it, but, thanks. I appreciate it. I feel it when I try and say, like, P. I can feel like one side just not there. But it's my eyebrow came back first. My cheek was second, and my lips were coming back. And now it seems like just my lower lip is still hanging a little bit. But it's getting better. Jan Parada says, Rich, about the couches. She said couches. Drink up. Don't give them any airtime. Well, it's hard when you're talking about it.
Yeah, really.
Don't feed the haters. Don't give them any airtime. They don't work as hard as you, and you probably don't even give OFR. And they don't even give to OFR. They don't own you. Stay happy, stay fishy. Well, thank you. Well, see, the thing is that they're saying that they're nasty and they're ugly. Them couches are not nasty. Yes, they can be dusty. Any couch you put out there, I don't care if I go to the store and buy it brand new and leave it set out there for 2 weeks, it's going to be dusty. You smack the arm, it's going to have a little, dust fly away. It's a big room, and there's a lot of dust, and you're constantly sucking air in through the vents up there and blowing it out. So, I mean, there's circulating dust, so it's all pollen and stuff from outside. It covers everything in that pool room. So, you can't do nothing about the dust. But them couches are not stained up. They are not, like, nasty. They're not, I mean, everybody sits in them, likes them. They don't smell. They're comfortable. I love them. I'll sit in that big chair and I feel like a little kid. I swear to God, I feel like a little kid.
They're comfortable.
They're comfortable as can be. And they're not dirty and stained up. That's just, I don't know what you're seeing through the camera work or nothing, but they're not.
Just quit defending them.
Zach says Jerry's dusty. Raheem says couch, couch, couch. Sue Ann says,
couch.
and she's been here many times. Sue Ann says those couches are comfy as fuck. The sofa count? Yes, it does.
Save some other language too. Who got it?
Oh my God. Doug said that was 45 years ago with Zeppelin.
Yes.
Sheesh, I'm old. Wow. I guess it would be. I'm 61. 45. I was 15, 16 at the time, 17, something like that. Yeah, that fits. That was 45 years ago. That's Lisa says, what couch is comfy? I'm all for a comfy couch. You have to watch, was it today's video or last video? It was last video. and then read the comments. Everybody just got on me about the couches. It was crazy. Sebastian says, wow, Rich, at the start of the stream, I was going to say the one side of your mouth seemed a little droopy, but then I thought it was rude. Thank you for that. Good thinking. And this says, I'm sorry, I did not know this happened. Glad you are better. I missed one live stream because of it. And then I came back and it was way better. And I did it, but I was still talking out of one side of my mouth. And then, you know, I now I can get by and it barely looks there. I mean, I know there's still something left, but it's going away. So thank you. Matt says, just shoot a video of Jerry sleeping on the couch and tell everybody if Jerry can sleep there, it's good enough for anybody.
Everybody wants to shoot a video of me. Somebody else was saying you should have somebody do a video of me feeding.
SJC says couch. I'm out of water. I think, I got a little bit in my other cup.
Demons turning into a character.
What's Davenport? Other than the name of one of my singers in my band, great singer, Jim Davenport.
It's a couch.
Oh, Davenport is a couch. Okay, got you. That's another thing of the couch. Yeah.
I said a made a crack about saying some other language.
I remember that now. Now that you say that.
Comes back with Davenport.
Nope. Sean H says those couches are the casting couches. I don't think so.
No. They're not that kind of comfortable.
The Nerdy Fish guy says, or the Nerdy Fish says, I think people just see it as being in the way. It is if I wanted more tanks there. Like I'm sure if you had a dedicated spot out of the way, people would have never mentioned them. Yeah, I did have them next to the hot tub in a little couch, you know, like a little living room spot. And everybody sat there. Everybody used them all the time. And now we had to move them out of the way because we put that fish tank there. And now I don't have a spot for them. So they're basically supposed to go against the pool looking at the fish tanks. But the problem with that is when you got a bunch of people sitting on the couches, you don't really talk to each other. You stare at the tanks. So I liked them better when they were pointing towards each other in the living room setting.
They're like a semicircle with the pool on one side of it, with people walking by and the traffic, especially when you're, like, when we've got an open house during the extravaganza or something. It's just, you can't beat it.
I think we caught up. Nope. For a second. Zach Polson says, hey, Big Rich, when summer comes, can you do a live stream outside in the gazebo with them cool lights on?
That would be a nice special treat.
I think that would make an awesome live stream, maybe some special guests. We can, but we'd have to carry out this computer, these lights, this TV, set it all up out there. It's a whole process now. It's not just, doing a live stream off your phone.
I'd be able to charge her. She a double laptop.
Demon says couches. Drink up, guys. Couch.
Couch pass. Thank you, Demon.
A couple of people are complaining that the commercials are horrible tonight.
I've been looking up here for a change. I'm not watching down here, so I haven't seen the commercials.
I wish I had some control over that. It's either on or off. I can turn them off, but Raheem. You guys are stuck on these couches thing, ain't you? Yeah, I really like the way the lights turned out. We liked them when we put them under the gazebo. So when I went to buy more, I was like, I might as well get the same things. I like them. They're durable, and the light bulbs are made of plastic. You can step on it and keep on going, and they're LED in the middle. They still work. I've got like probably 15 extra light bulbs that came with them 3 sets of lights, and they're all tied together now, and it works great.
They had it just around the pool, and it looked kind of funny. And then when
Because the lights were right,
the lights back around, so it enclosed the gazebo and the pool, and one kind of brought them together. That worked great.
yeah, when we put the lights around there first, the lights were all the way around the pond, and that was great. Until you're up on the deck looking out, you've got these lights right in your face. You can't really see past it to the pond or anything. So we took them down from there, and I was just going to do like one side of the pond, and Josh was like, go all the way around the whole living area. And that's what we did.
Brought the two right together. Excuse me.
Zach says if you make a video of someone cleaning the couch, they'd still talk shit about that too. They would. You're using the wrong cleaner. That's horrible. Hello, 69 says, hope you're having a great stream. We always have a good time. You got a bunch of good people sitting around gabbing. Well, except for me and Jerry. We're surrounded by good people. All right, Jacob 6 says, I have Corey catfish, bumblebee gobies, Stephone gobies, neon blue, I think, and 3 banjo catfish, 1 Raphael catfish.
Everybody's at the bottom of the tank.
Is there a question? I did not see a question in that.
You can keep a 3-inch water level in a tank with those fish. They're all on the bottom.
Zach says, so where are we at on the big tanks? Well, they had to get put on, hold for a while. And, we got the sump in, and then we're going to move to the next tank. Then the legacy thing came up. Then after the legacy, then we come back and we're trying to get straightened up. And then Greg Woodstock calls, says we're on our way. And so we had to hurry up and get the dog bone stand in. We got all that done. Now we can go back to, because Greg called and canceled again. So that's back to, he's going to be here in 3 weeks. We can at least try and get the sump done first. Again, we've got the new paint here. I don't like it. I mean, I like the paint. It does a great job so far. I don't like the color. It's like a sky blue as opposed to a dark blue, and I like that dark blue. So we have to repaint the sump in that. So we're going to have to we can't have the filtration down for a few days. We're going to have to take that wet dry filters out of there, set them up in a pool next to the sump. We don't have to move the sump. That's one good thing. But we have to run piping from there over to the sump, and then piping from the sump over to the pumps going back out to where we can have the sump empty. And we have to scrape it all clean, wire brush all that stuff back out down to bare metal again. So we're going to have to hang plastic and do all that, and, have breathing masks on and all that stuff. Get it back down to bare metal, vacuum all that out, then paint it with the new paint, let that dry 2 days, and then paint it with the new paint a second coat. And then we can fill that back up and get it back running again. Then we can move on to the tanks. So right now we're dealing with a leaking 3000 again, which is going to push us, because when it wasn't leaking, we're in no big hurry to change it out. Now that it's leaking again, it's going to push us to, because every day it's going to have wetness out there. It's going to push us to get it done quick. But in the same time, we also got things to do to the pool, which Greg was coming out, and they're bringing more stones to make a ledge from the shallow to the deep so that the gravel no longer falls down in there. They're bringing more gravel. They're wanting to put up the underwater color lights, and they're wanting to rebuild this whole, rock shelf on this side. So they're bringing more rocks for that. And then we've got the two power heads to deal with, the water movers. So I thought I could help them and they want to do it all underwater, not take the water out. I thought I could help them by getting the kids to get in the pool and start cutting out, because them rocks are put in there with foam in between, and they set the rocks on the foam. So to pull them apart, we just got to take and cut the foam. And then once the rocks are out, we can clean the foam off and stack them up. And, that would be one less thing that they have to do. They could just see the stand in the water and build the rocks around them, So, and the gravel will go over the bottom of the stands. So you won't see the stand at all except for 4 poles sticking up. And I was going to go ahead and cover them with, like, if you see the gumball, the round ball tank we have, in the very center, there's a 3-inch pipe covered with universal rock background. I put that together and I sewed it together and made it to slip over that. I want to do the same thing with these 4 poles, because we have the universal rocks background in the pool. So it would be exactly matching. The 4 poles that you do see will be universal rocks. So that'll work out great. I just figured we can get a jump on what they wanted to do so they can work more on, placing the 12 lights or 6 lights, whatever it is. I think I got 6 white and 6 colored. I don't know, something like that. Put them all around where they want to run the wires, and then, it was just the one thing less they have to do if we can get it done. But good question. Oh. What? SJC says, do you remember that eel you got from Legacy? He was watching them put more fish in, and as they put more fish in the tank, they got eaten.
I saw a thumbnail for, right on their thumbnails, that eel taking a bite out of a yellow tank.
See, they know better than that. They should know better than that. You can't put nothing that he can fit in his mouth, or overfeed him to where he don't go after the fish. I hate hearing that.
Most of those fish never saw a predator before. They got no prey instinct.
Raheem says, vacuum your couch by community people. If we're going to throw an event where we know we're going to use them, we'll vacuum them up. But I mean, as daily work goes by, we've got a lot more stuff to do than vacuuming couches. John Silver says, what's the best way to get rid of the nitrate out of my 5-foot tank? Water changes and plants. I mean, that's the only thing you can do to get rid of it. There are nitrate filters, but they're a pain in the butt. You got to feed them sugar and keep them in 100% darkness, and you never know if they're working unless you can take readings and stuff like that. So I don't venture into it.
You don't dare open one either. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, they'll stink.
Yeah, they're anaerobic at best, anoxic at worst.
Okay. But the more plants you have in there, the more, nitrates they'll eat up. They grow on them nitrates.
At least they eat the ammonia and don't get a chance to turn into a nitrate. Or progress through the nitrate cycle.
Zach Bolton says, hey, Big Rich, this is the year to take that Camaro out for a ride. She deserves to have a nice wash and drive. Well, for one, the Camaro has never in its life, since I've had it in 25 years or something, seen water except for one time. and that was a hell of a thing. We took it to a show on a trailer, and it was an open top trailer. So we figured we'd get some on there. We can clean it off, you know. Me and Tracy were ready to clean it. But when we got to the show, man, this truck threw up so much sludge and ice. It covered the whole front nose of this Camaro, looked like an igloo of snow. It did not look like a car at all. So we had to take water and let it pour on there to melt this stuff till you seen red and keep on melting all the way around the whole nose of this car. And then we had to clean it because we were there for an Autorama. So we spent the whole weekend cleaning that car. Definitely showed up as the dirtiest car, and we won a 5-foot white glove award contest that week with a $500 cash prize. We left there with the cleanest car there. They did a white glove test, and oh my god, you should have seen the guy we were going against was a '56 Chevrolet, and it only had 8 miles on the odometer, and that was from pushing it off the trailer and back on the trailer at all these different shows. It was a beautiful car, and bone stock though, completely stock from the factory. And the places they put rags was amazing. They took a rag, a white towel, threw it over top of the transmission and went like this down the transmission on my car and his. And mine came out cleaner because I had little Tracy under the car. She was cleaning everything. And his, I guess he just kept everything clean, but let that go, and he got knocked points for that. And then inside the exhaust was dirty on his car, and on mine, little Tracy, I got 4-inch exhaust. Little Tracy stuck her hands way up in there and cleaned it and all that. And I had it spray painted black so it looks like there's exhaust there. But the guy's like, okay, I know where I'm going to get you. And he took his white glove and he wiped the whole exhaust, and he comes, clean. So then he took a rag and on a pole and stuck it up in there and pulled it out. And it was clean. Thank you, Tracy. And then they did the same to his, and they did behind the distributor. They took a white towel and wiped behind the distributor on the intake and the transmission and all that stuff back there. And mine came out clean. His came out dirty. I won. It was amazing. It was amazing. He was so mad. Oh, my God. But, yeah, to answer your question, we're already ahead of you. Josh came over, and first what we do is we take a breaker bar, and we just turn the motor over a little bit back and forth, make sure it's free. It was free. So then we took a ratchet, and we turned the motor over like 5-6 times and let it turn over from the big blower belt pulley, and turned it over. And then I went and back. I disconnected the coil, and I went and back, and I hooked up the battery that's been on a trickle charger, hooked it up, thing turned right over, no problem. So now I got to go get some fuel, because if anyone knows race fuel, it dries up. So I have to take the four carburetor float bowls off, clean out in there before I put new fuel in, and then I have to put fuel in the fuel tank, pump it up through, and make sure that the floats don't stick and flood out everything. And then if I got no leaks and the floats are all sticking where they're supposed to, I can go ahead and start the car. Then we can tune it, again by, the 8 screws on the carburetor. And after we're done with that tune, we can go ahead and take the spark plugs out, put new ones in, and drive it around, and it'll be good to go. So we're already ahead of you. We are doing it this summer. Greg is coming on the 3rd week of April. And OG Foster says, is Greg waiting for Brett to get there first? I don't know. They're both waiting for each other to go first, I guess, because neither one of them showed up in a while. But Greg's busy. You guys know that. He's all over the world. Jacob Stigg says, y'all gave me the info to do it, plus your lives. Thank you, OFR. Well, you're very welcome. If I was there, Divergent says that he officially only ate 1 for now. If I was there, I'd have told him, don't put fish in that size. He will eat them. He won't bother bigger ones, Plus, feed him more. Jen says, good for getting rich awake. Hey, I'm talking about my car. What do you want me to do? I get excited. Same thing with food, same thing with music, same thing with movies. I don't know how far this is going to go back.
Pretty close.
Okay, yeah, we're back now. Harley says that eel's going to clean out that tank. It had too much fun chasing them. Man, not liking this.
He needs to be in with a couple of big parrotfish and shit to keep me in his place.
Sorry says, what is your all-time favorite freshwater fish you don't have? Well, right now it would be the arapaima. I guess no, because I got one, but he's not in the pool yet. The European whales and the snakehead.
And neither of them you can have without a license.
Right. Oh, and all them arapaima we're not allowed to have, or arowana we're not allowed to have. Yeah, love them things.
They're beautiful, but
So Ann says it's the first time that eel has seen another fish. Instinct kicked in. It also kicked in with other fish. They will figure it out. EW says, how big of a tank do you need? See, this is a hard question to answer. To handle a koi fish. The wife and I were talking about getting one or two of them. I mean, for the first year or two, you can have them in a 55, a 75, a 125. But after that, they're 12 inches or so. They're going to keep on growing. And
they should keep on growing. Those koi come in all sizes anymore. That one white one I had was only about 12 inches, 14 inches, with not counting his tail. That's not a very big koi.
Divergent says an old style rope bridge over the pool pond would be epic. Yeah, we've entertained ideas for all kinds of different bridges over the pool, and I think I'm stuck on just a straight bridge made of iron, probably 6 inches, because there's probably 8 to 10 inches above the water from the lip of the top of it. So we can have a piece of iron sticking out on top and then, girder style 6 inches down, and it should be fine. We can have chains in the center holding it up if we need to, but I would like the very center of it to be able to open up the floor so that I can take another tank like that 500-gallon cube and set down in the water and have the bridge holding it down, which is also holding up the weight of the bridge. So you can get down and inside the 500-gallon and look around inside the pool, or a round, circular tank of some sort that I can have like a bar stool inside there. You can spin and look at all the fish. That's where we're leaning to on that, if we can ever get that done. So Ann says, couch, everybody. Oh, I'm out. I have no more water. Jem says, pretty sure that eel grew up alone. That's what we were told when we picked him up, that he was in a tank by himself. Sheesh. There we go. Sue Ann's fish are not food, they're friends. Jen. Jen says, keep up the good work, Rich and Jerry.
Hey,
Thank you, Jens.
glad to.
Sue Ann says, keep up the good work, Rich and Jerry. Thank you, Jens.
Glad to.
There we go. There we go. OG Foster says, if another arapaima goes into the pond, will the pieces come out? I think she means plecos. Yes, there's only one pleco left in there, but yeah, he'll come out. We can't take that kind of chance again.
If we right now it's when we can find him.
Jem says, she said it out loud during the video. Feed that eel more before adding fish.
Oh wow.
Zach Bolson says, hey, Big Rich, you think you could get some of your old bandmates together and do a jam session video? I think y'all want to see you. I think we all want to see you play. I don't know. Everybody's so old now. I've been here 12 years and I haven't seen any of them for that time. No, I've not been here 12 years. 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
10 years. I haven't seen any of them in this time. Jen says snakeheads are #1 in my book. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I still, like, back when I was drinking, I'd pick it up and, get a few drinks in me and pick up the guitar and show just how bad I really am anymore. I'm like, I used to be able to play this thing. So now, you know what I do? I don't do any leads. I just play along with songs to show people that, yeah, I can play this, and you can't tell if it's me playing or the radio. To do any of the leads, I'd have to really hunker down and go over it and figure it out and play it 1,000 times first and then show somebody,
You know what you were saying before, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, well, you don't really lose it. I mean, I can pick up a guitar and still play, and people are like, wow, you're good. But not to me.
You still talk a little sign language too, but the edges aren't there. It's
right,
not
yeah.
sharp.
It's not as good as it used to be. Snakeheads are native to Florida. What are you talking about?
They are now.
They are now.
Closes the barn door after the horse gets out. Yeah, that's snakeheads can be, but it's when you take responsibility, you have the blessing of caring for this animal. You take the responsibility for it. You make sure it doesn't get out and run away.
Right.
Snakeheads are capable of getting out of their pen and running away.
Sebastian says, can we add metal cage type frames to the lights in the monster pool and then add pacu and rays? Okay, for one, just covering the lights ain't good enough for the pacu. When fish go through there and they stir up the rocks, you get a cord coming out that goes over, to the lights over here, to the water mover over here or something, and they bite that up, then that one don't work. And the next, and the next, and the next. And then in the corner, we got a bunch of them coming up the corner and going out the top. There's just no way to have pacu in there. We thought, we'll just put them all in the corner and cover them with rocks. No one will ever get to them. And I'll be darned if them rocks weren't knocked down all over the whole, and we had to pick them back up and stack them back in the corner again. So you can't take that chance. So the pacu are completely not to even be thought of to go in the pool. And as far as rays, we don't mind rays in the pool. The problem with that is people go in the pool, you go in there barefoot. You're going to find ray, I'm drawing a blank. What's the name of the thing?
Discharged spines.
The ray spines, the poker that they poke you with, it looks like a little Christmas tree. It goes up and it has it's a bone that's pointed like this. And if you step on it, it can stick you in the foot. So we can't have rays in there for that reason, because we'll never be able to find all of the stingray spines in the gravel.
Yeah, they do shed their spines.
Monthly. I've got a collection of them in my bedroom.
Yeah.
I started off on a picture frame.
Yeah.
And I was taping them on there. Now they're taped all the way across another row of top, and there's a pile of them on top of that.
Waiting to be glued down.
I ran out of room on that thing. So, and gents, and a bull shark in the pool pond. I would love to have a bull shark in there. I mean, absolutely love it. It would only be a baby, and we can only keep it in there for a little bit. But I would absolutely love to have a video of that. That would be great. Like, we got a bull shark in that we can take to a public aquarium. I would definitely acclimate them to the pool pond, do some videoing, swim with them. I think that would be awesome. Raheem says, Big Rich, me too. Love watching movies. Wish we both get together in Ohio watch Jaws, all of them. Oh, I don't know about 4 and 5, but 1, 2, and 3 were good.
Go 1, 2, 3 in Jaws, and then switch to Piranha 3D.
Again, with
Now
there's like
sit
5 of
in the
those.
shallow end of the pool pond. We drop the big screen down, chum the water. There you go.
Okay, Espen Hoffland says, how old is Schwarzenegger? He is, let me see. We're thinking around, what was I, 24, 25? We had him for 24 years, and we got him at about this big. So maybe another year there. So 25 years old. And then how much wattage is in your living room loudspeakers? Well, that depends. I've got wattage in there, but you know, certain speakers can't handle it. Right now, it's a Sony ES 5500 receiver, which has 110 watts a channel, 7 channels. And I've got the speakers that can handle that, but none of it is subwoofer. And then I've got my big speakers on the side over here. Now the tops can handle, I think they're 1,000 a piece, and the bottoms can handle, what was it, 2,000? I've got a 2,000 watt amp running to both bottoms, so it's only 1,000 a side. But I've got all the subwoofer going to them, you know, and then the mids and highs and the high bass is all going to the top cabinets. And then through the 7-channel surround sound, that's why I don't even turn on the top cabinets. I have the 7-channel surround sound on and the subwoofers. That works great for surround sound in movies.
Yeah.
I'd rather not be able to see them speakers, because I found in my time, if you turn them around and point the subwoofer at the wall and you don't see the subwoofers, it's way better sound. And you feel it more. It's way better. But then you can't show off as much, you know? So when people walk in, they see the 415s there, 215s, 215s, you know? So for you high fidelity guys, I've got everything from 400 hertz and to, I think 100 hertz running to the top 215s, okay? Then I've got from 100 hertz, and they overcross at a bandwidth like that. While this one's dropping off, this one's picking up. At 100 hertz and lower goes to the bottom 415s, and that goes to the 2,000 watt amp. So, you know, the top 15s do something when they're on, you know? Like, basically, when the radio is on, that's when you're listening, not the surround sound. So the 7 channels for the stereo don't really matter, but the 2 stacks on each side, I have the tops and bottoms on, and you listen to music like that. I haven't done it. I mean, I've turned it on many times, but just not loud, because Tracy's in that room. So sometimes, like when Tracy's favorite song comes on, I'll run over and just turn it on real quick and, you know, let her hear it. Oh, and if you need, downstairs, I have a bunch of them same speakers set up. So there's 3 stacks on each side. So there's like 32 15s, and that's running through 8,000 watts in the basement. Oh. Here's your chance to talk to Jerry.
Yeah, I wish I know here being quiet. Yeah, it's quite a sound system he's got, and it's really beautiful. What you got to admire is the balance that it takes, because through each level of sound, it's still clear. And the ultrasound, you can feel it. Like he says, it does work when you turn the speakers around. You know, the ultrasound, especially in your bass, comes out of the bass of it. My old Lansings, there's 16 in the bottom facing down at the floor, and the sound reflected off of louvers out, and it had the Wolverine horns. It put out a lot of, they used to be able to walk them on an linoleum floor. You had to almost nail them down.
Oh, you didn't move my chat. Very good.
I don't move your chat.
You did last week.
I don't.
Aggressive Fish Lover says, can we get a shout out to Jerry? The man survived 2 world wars, Vietnam, and now Skylar and Rich. What? There is no Skylar and Rich, for one. Don't start that up again. survive through Skylar and then Ridge. Okay, I can get that.
2 World Wars, Vietnam, that's not
Wow.
jumpy little bitch. Be rich.
Wow, it really jumped.
I don't know, man. You lost.
Jens Carlson says, heavy metal is half dead. Sorry, it's only dead if you don't listen to it. And it depends on what you mean by heavy metal. You know, there's death metal, there's all kinds of different stuff. To me, heavy metal was, you know, the which everyone calls classic rock now. To me, that was heavy metal. You know, Ozzy and Sabbath, and, you know, that kind of stuff was all heavy. To me, that was heavy metal. You know, now it's a different thing. Raheem says Jen's bull shark will kill all the fish in the pool pond. Yes, it would eventually. That's why I said we can only have it while it's a little on our way to a public aquarium. And Sue Ann says ACDC is still touring. Okay, Sue Ann, I got to go with Jen's on this one. Yes, we have all the geezer tours out there. But my God, do you really want to see your heroes look like that? I mean, they're terrible looking. These guys are in their 80s and 90s, and it's horrible. They look terrible. You know, I don't want to go see my. And then, you know what? Here's what kills me about bands. If I like, let's say, AC/DC, you know, Back in Black, love that song. I don't want to hear it played by the band that plays it now, slower, drawn out, and, you know, different leads trying to show that they're better musicians now. I hate that. Play the song the way we hear it. That's the way we want to hear it. That's the way we remember it, you know?
It's supposed to be raw.
Well,
not polished.
Harley says going out next Saturday to support local heavy metal bands. Jen says invasive in Florida. Snakeheads are from India. Well, that used to be, but now they were invasive. They were invasive. They did invade. They are here to stay. They are now from Florida too. That's all there is to it. You want a snakehead? Go to Florida. You can get them. You can catch them on a line and bowl. No problem.
They're not a deal till you go across the state line.
Stanley Paytner says, hey from Lima, it's Matt's dad. What's up, Stanley? Simone Shears. I keep my Japanese koi in a 3 meter by 2 meter. So that's 6 foot by 9 foot. Huh. Yeah, 3 meters is 9 foot, 2 meters, 6 foot. So 6 by 9. That's like a small kid's pool. That's you know, size of my sump now, a little smaller. I think my sump's wasn't that 12 foot long? So it's still a little bigger. But yeah, that's fine. We've kept our koi in you know, kids' pools before. And I say kids' pool, like something you can buy from Walmart, you know, something you can buy from there. That's a kid's pool to me. Okay, Stanley says it's Matt's dad. Okay, sorry, my bad. Dude, Jen's is saying something about Ganga and Varanasi got bull sharks. Everybody's got bull sharks. Bull sharks have now been seen in the Ohio River. I mean, all the way north from the Mississippi River, all the way up to the Ohio River. People have seen bull sharks now. They're all over the place. They're in big lakes and ponds. It's crazy. Well, I don't know about ponds, but I mean, they're in big lakes all over the place. Depends on what your definition is of a pond. You guys are having a side project here. Try not to read that. Jerry, what's the most common question people ask on tours? What's that fish? What's that fish? What's that fish?
No, the most common question is, what's with the arowana with the broken back?
Okay. We get that a lot too.
Every time. It's guaranteed. I could lay money on it.
Aggressive fish lover says, Jerry, wink twice to tell us you're okay when Rich is gone. I'm not holding him here against his will. Oh my God. You people. But thanks for the laugh. Oh man, jumped so far.
There you go.
Raheem says, Rich, wish you did saltwater pond like Paul Cafaro has done his 5,000 gallon. Yeah, me too. We have to take that up with Josh.
We have to have a legacy size situation to do
Well,
that.
not only that, I can't force, I mean, I can, but I don't want to force my son to take on more work because I want something when he's already giving so much of his time. I mean, 2 hours a day, every single day, 7 days a week, and more on weekends is a lot to take from somebody that just got a new house, that just got married, just had a baby, is having another baby. That's a lot of time to take away from their family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not pushing the whole saltwater thing because it would be more work on him. You know, if Tracy wakes up, first thing I'm doing, I'm going to go outside and show her where I'm setting up a saltwater tank.
Taking over a saltwater pond like that, you got to remember that the filter system for that thing is as much as it is. It's as large as the pond itself.
Yeah.
And there's 3 times the maintenance.
Demon says it's only dead if you don't listen to it. Nice. Thank you, Demon. Appreciate it. Every once in a while, I have some words of wisdom. I mean, that's my whole repertoire out there, you know? It's old classic rock. I used to call heavy metal, you know, but I mean, there's a lot of new songs I like. I still listen to, but I'm not, you know, closed-minded. But you ask me what you know, hey, we're having a party tonight. We're going to be drinking. You're going to have to break out the guitar. What are we going to play? It's going to be Ozzy. It's going to be Metallica. It's going to be Ted Nugent. It's going to be Rush. It's going to be Zeppelin. It's going to be all that because that's what I want to party and drink to. Oh no. Demon said Ann Wilson Hart is touring in a wheelchair with a buzz cut. Cancer. Oh man, that's horrible. She is such a force of nature. She had such a great voice. And I've been wondering, I've been seeing her sister on the internet doing all kinds of different jams with different people.
Nancy.
But I haven't seen Ann, you know?
That's hard to hear. I spent some time working the circuit on the West Coast, doing lights and sound, mostly just partying. But Ann Wilson was on the same tour as we were. We used to share rental equipment and swap seats back and forth between bar gigs. And Ann taught me how to tune my 12-string. I mean, she's just a part of another band. They were beautiful. One time, the Led Zeppelin collage they would do,
Oh yeah, she does a mean Led Zeppelin.
her and Nancy, electric mandolin and an electric 12-string, up on stage with the lights down low, playing Led Zeppelin collage like dueling banjos. Oh, just hit you right in the chest.
Well, they did a thing, I think it was over in Britain, where they honored Led Zeppelin.
I saw that.
And Hart played Stairway to Heaven.
Had him in tears. That was beautiful.
Yes, while Robert Plant, Jimmy Page was in the audience and had them in tears. Yes,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
amazing.
Standing
Amazing.
ovation.
Yes. Jens Carlson says, now hipster metal, no Pantera, no Sepultura. I don't want to be in a world that there's no Pantera. Oh my God. I mean, yes, that may be too heavy for some people, and I get that. but there is no better guitar work ever. I mean, I had to learn a bunch of Pantera songs, and I worked my butt off to do it, to keep up with it, and be able to play all them riffs because they were just so badass. Domination was my thing, though. I got to learn that, and I thought I was a real guitarist at that point. But then when I first got a guitar and I could play Smoke on the Water, oh, I'm a real guitarist now.
Yeah. How many times can you play Smoke on the Water? Drink twice if you're okay.
Oh, Uchi Foster says we were the live fast, die young, and leave a good-looking corpse generation. I can get with that.
Who we were?
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I still around?
Well, you left that last good-looking corpse thing out.
This corpse has got a lot of mileage.
Yes, sir.
I earned them. I earned it.
Jen says, love you guys, my fishy family.
Actually, the fish, the aquariums and stuff's the only thing that's been real consistent my whole life.
What's that?
The fish, the aquariums.
Gotcha.
Always.
Bill Lynch
Everything
says,
seems to come back to relate on it. It's like that joke in the hobby. When I took on this aquarium, I didn't realize I was going to have to be an electrician and a plumber and a carpenter and a chemist and a...
Bill Lynch says, I got an idea, Rich and his band should play live at the Legacy opening. Well, wouldn't that be cool? Stephen Bundleett says, we have bull sharks in the Coney Island Creek now.
Not
See, I told you they're heading up rivers and everything. Oh, man, it jumped again.
I remember 30 years ago, they were doing a study to figure out why they were coming so far up the river down in Costa Rica. And they figured it out because the estuaries has all been eaten out. There's no more food for them out in the estuary. So they're coming up river. They're following the food.
Yeah. Sebastian says, Big Rich, I really enjoy your style of videos showing all kinds of mixed things. Well, see, what you guys don't understand is there's a reason I do that. I mean, we make a video every other day. And then there's, my son's making videos and Reaper's making videos. We'll all be doing the same thing. So, a lot of times I show you basically what we have to do to keep this place running. Why show a video of a tent being blown up when it's a fish channel? Well, because we're trying to set up the sail for this and get the tent set up and, screw it into the ground and do all this so that we can get the sail set up to continue, going on, and we can clear out the overages of all the leftover stuff we have and sell it off cheap and help our members out and do all that kind of stuff. And that's part of what keeps this place running, So there's going to be probably on that, if I sell like a 300 watt heater for $4, 200 watt heater for, $2, and a 100 watt heater for $1, everybody's getting a great deal. And then I can get rid of 3 tubs full of heaters we've collected, that I've been giving away to people when they need it.
And it pays for the gas on the rescue.
And it helps us, okay, out of that whole sale for the whole weekend, there's a lot of work going into it. We may get $1,500, maybe $2,500. And that goes right to the OFR bank account, and that helps pay for the gas for all these pickups that Reaper goes on, the boys' lunches, the food for the fish. It's all stuff we have to pay for. So, I do this because what do you video today? I can go around and do one tank and talk about it and do one video and do that and then do the next thing. And by the end of the week, I'm done with all the tanks. And then what do you want to video? I mean, you run out of things. So I did feeding videos for a while. I did tank videos a lot for a while. Now I just video everything that we're doing daily. And when I got spare time, we can get back to the fish. I'll do Hubert do a swimming fish, turtle cam tour. I'll sit there and have the tripod set up and have one tank going, and then I can talk about each and every fish in there and stuff like that. I can always go back to that. Feeding video. People are asking for them now because we're not doing them as much. We were doing them all the time because we have to feed every day. So, I mean, it's so hard to have content. So now, if we're building something, you guys get to see it. If we're moving something, you get to see it. If we're moving something out of the way so we can build over here, you get to see it. And everybody can follow along and be part of the whole situation. You know, not every video is going to be a legacy video, you know, or a Shaquille O'Neal video. But when they come out, they're like high points, you know. It's just as fun watching, you know, a work video where Josh falls in the pool as opposed to, you know, going all the way to the legacy and back.
I was
And
joking. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
then we even got yelled at for riding the legacy namesake because we made 3 videos of the legacy. But we really didn't. I made one, a tour of the legacy. A second video was the picking up the fish from here, catching them, putting them on the truck, the drive there, deliver them there, and then coming back home and taking the truck back. That's a video. And then I did the third video, which was Charlie coming from the Dorp Mall, coming here for 3.5 years, and then getting taken back to the legacy and getting released there in a 9,000 gallon, you know? So, I mean, we didn't really, I don't think we were like milking it and you know, running out. We don't have 12 videos of the legacy. We had 3. And it's what we all did in one day, you know? So I didn't even bring that up in my complaints, but you know, people do say stuff like that. It's crazy. And I just told the guy when he said that, I was like, if you don't like the videos, don't watch them, you know?
And videos like that have to be focused. You have to be focused on what you're doing, and all the editing and everything. It's not as quick and easy in a comp, especially if you're trying to do something else at the same time.
Yeah, if I video all day, doing all the different stuff we do all day, and then I go at nighttime into my room, it's about 2 hours. And that's a quick edit. I have to go through 25 minutes of video. I have to take out every time somebody sniffles, coughs, you know. If you hear breathing, I take that out, you know, because who wants to watch a video and you're going, you know? So I take out a lot of stuff, and then I work around what's left to work it into a story and a progression, you know? And it takes about 2 hours or so. And then I got to upload it. That takes about an hour. And then I got to, produce it online where you add the tags, you add the titles, the thumbnails, and all this different stuff. And, you know, then you're done. So it takes a lot.
I'm sorry, I was joking with Lou earlier. I said the best, most entertaining stuff around here never gets recorded.
Yeah.
And Lou said, yeah, you're probably glad it doesn't.
Jens Carlson says Bull Shark in Lake Erie is next. Sorry, Jens, they've already found them in Lake Erie. They're already there. I don't see that there's a bunch, but there has been, you know, video, pictures, and reports of them seeing them. So, yeah, they're getting around. They're worse than the snakeheads because they can adapt to saltwater, freshwater, warm, cold. They're fine. You know,
go back and forth like it's nothing.
And Jen also says Josh is working his ass off. He does.
Yeah, he does.
Demon says salt is too much work and hassle, which I'm willing to do. I've had saltwater tanks before. I know what they're doing, you know, and I know how to do them, and I've had them for years. I just don't want to put that kind of extra work on my son, you know. Bill Lynch says, when are you bringing more fish to the legacy? Oh, I don't know. Next couple of months, maybe. You know, we got to get things settled here before we take another trip, you know. When things are running smooth here and we got the tanks in and everything's done and Greg Woodstock came and left and everything's back running smooth, Jerry has expressed interest that he would like to go on the next trip. So we can't be having to leave Jerry here to take care of this or that while we're gone because, you know, he wants to go. So we need to have everything in order. We'll feed him before we leave. We'll come back and, you know, take care of him afterwards, you know. So, I mean, it's a matter of time. Demon says, awesome, Jerry. Anna's a queen.
She is.
Hard as kick ass. Sitter, Robbie Schenker. I don't know what that means, but you remind me of the Michael Schenker group. Awesome.
Ravi Shankar played with the Beatles on the White Album and all that. When the Beatles went into their Hare Krishna stage for a while.
Oh yeah, that bullshit.
Yeah, the Ravi Shankar with his sitar
Ah, okay.
playing with them. I got that.
Aggressive fish lover says, I keep telling all new members of the fish world that you, Jerry, and Reaper are brothers whose dream was to open a rescue after losing a pet goldfish from your kids.
Whatever it takes, man.
Depth charge. Now, see, there's an old guy you wouldn't think would listen to Pantera, but he does. Oh, Depth, I didn't mean to call you old. You're just in our group, you know. He's not as old as me. I'll put it that way. Dang it. Wow. Rich, what are your thoughts on Roy Clark's playing ability? Holy shit. Unbelievable. I saw Roy Clark, Jerry Reed, and Chet Atkins together. My top 3 guitarists at that time. Unbelievable. They were just, if you don't know who they are, they're old geezers, okay? But look up The Claw by Jerry Reed and Chet Atkins. Unbelievable. I mean, and Roy Clark can play many different instruments better than I can. I mean, that dude's amazing.
If it's got strings, he can play it, but he can play every style of guitar, every tune,
And be funny about it.
I watched a video of him leading the Mexican Philharmonic Orchestra up on top of one of those pyramids down in Mexico, and he was conducting the whole orchestra with his 12-string electric 12-string guitar.
Wow.
Yeah. Ray Clark's definitely, as far as I'm concerned, the best all-round guitarist. There might be better ones for a specific style, but for general all-round guitar, yeah.
Sue Ann says the footage of the tent should have been given to the behind the scenes because that's behind the scenes footage. Well, yeah, but problem is Reaper's not here all the time, and I needed to pick it up, and I had community service guy here that day that we took it apart. So I mean, I had to do the footage, so I just added it in my video. You can't get all the behind the scenes, and I'm not going to give away good footage when I don't have enough footage. Bill Lynch says we need more bitchin' kitchen. You know, if I had somebody here that wanted to follow around and do the videoing, I would do both. I would do Big Rich's Bitchin' Kitchen. I wouldn't mind it. Jerry would love it. He would be the recipient of all kinds of meals.
Oh, yeah. That part of it I love. Somebody to clean up the mess would be handy too.
That would also be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Lori Clark says, I have a breeding pair of tricolor sharks. I'm thinking it's not common. I found one baby. It's not common,
Nah.
but you know, it's more
Whatever you're
uncommon
doing,
that one.
keep it up.
Yeah, more uncommon that one baby made it. You know, through
Yeah.
all kinds of other mouths in the tank. You know, including the parents. So keep doing it. Put more hides in there. Put more plants in there. Harley got it right. Says it's like I like the days of our lives OFR edition. That's what it is.
Did I tell you we've got that breeding pair of the green dragon bristlenose in that 280, and I found a baby about 2 inches long in the sump.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and they're over in the 280.
Okay. Dreamtime Relaxation says you should do what the Legacy channel did and hire a videographer to make your content for you.
Yeah,
The videos are way better too. Well, thank you for telling us that other people's videos are better. I appreciate that. That's really cool. But also, yeah, in a perfect world, sure, let's hire this. I should hire somebody to wash my dishes for me too. I should also hire somebody to, help me take a shower. That'd be great. Problem is, we don't make the money. Okay. It costs about $3,600 a month to run this rescue. Our channel makes about $2,200 a month. That pays for that. I have to pay the difference out of my rents for the houses. Okay. So people are,
Rich, you gotta go back. His video name starts with Dreamtime.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Dreamtime. Yeah,
Yeah, it's in a dream thing. That would be great. I can't hire a videographer. I can't. I mean, Jerry moved in here for free. He gets no bills. He gets fed every once in a while, and he just works out in the fish. Something he loves doing anyway. So it's a perfect fit for Jerry. We've tried other people. Live here free. Help us out. Did not work for the last woman that was here. She had to go back to the mental ward. Did not work out for the last guy that was here. Who was that? That was Hoover. He's in prison. It did not work out for the last guy before him. That was remember Muscle Mike.
Yeah.
You know why he left out of here? He got mad because he got a job at a donut factory. Hey, hang on. Look at this. Look at your shoulders sitting over here. Let me put this. There we go. Okay. He got a job at a donut factory. So instead of calling him Muscle Mike, which he really liked, I was messing with him. I started calling him Donut Mike, or Cookie Mike. That was it, Cookie Mike. A cookie factory, not a donut place. And he got offended, and I didn't even realize it. And then, the next morning, he come up here and he's like, I thought you were a friend. And he walks out and leaves. I'm like, what the hell's up with Mike? What is he talking about? Because I ragged on him a little bit, called him Cookie Mike. It was funny. Everyone laughed. He took it so seriously, took it to heart, and moved out. That was it. Last we've ever seen of Cookie Mike. I will not call him Muscle Mike no more. He's forever to be known as Cookie Mike.
I never got the chance to meet him. No opinion.
Okay, OVG Foster says, when you talk about that work, you scare off people who wouldn't be up for the task. Okay, well then, they don't need to be around then. Reducing the need for rescue, I guess. Jen says, pool pond videos of the cichlids will do. That name is still stuck since Reaper started that.
And it fits. That's what's beautiful about it.
David Smith says, question for you, Rich. We know that adding fish can cause a behavioral problem in a tank. Did moving out all those fish cause any behavioral problems by changing the balance of any of those tanks? Not one bit. We haven't had any problems since.
Not so far as we've noticed yet.
The water is cleared up and got, pristine and buffered because we have more bacteria than needed. So that'll even out in a month or so. But no, we haven't run across no problems.
That one male arowana started being a little more friendly.
Vasquez family says, that's what I like, because some of us across the country or world, and we feel part of what you guys are doing. Oh, talking about my videoing. Yeah, I just video like you guys are here with us, and here's what we're doing. And you're part of the family. You get to see everything. Some of it's boring, some of it's not. Some of it's great, some of it's upsetting. You get to see everything. In other words, we don't go back and take a second and third take. Ever. You know what I'm saying? If you can't use that footage, oh, well, you lost it. Because somebody swore or something like that, I can take out swearing when it's between words. But when Josh picks up the fish net and the fish is flopping and somebody swears, I can't use that. I have to cut that out, So, but yeah, usually, I don't know.
I just imagined the other day after Reaper grinding out there on that rust all afternoon, he comes in and he falls down on the floor inside the door and just He can't even make it to the chair. I can just imagine you said, "Oh, Reed, you got to go back out and do that again."
You're right.
Let's stage this.
Let's clear something up, because the way that sounds is like Reaper came in and passed out. It did
No,
not
it
happen.
did not. I'm sorry.
He came in, and instead of walking over to the chair and sitting, he went straight to his knees and he sat down by the door. He's like, I'm like, you okay? He goes, I'm tired, Rich. That's what we mean by collab. He didn't. It was not a medical
no,
collapse.
it was. Yeah, I'm sorry if it sounded that way. No, it was.
So thank you, Vasquez family, for liking how I video. It does keep you guys part of what goes on here. Like I said, there is no second or third takes. We don't stage nothing. We don't go back and, oh, that was good, let's put that for the video. Everybody places. We don't do none of that. So Aggressive Fish Lover says we need a day in the life of channel. I've done that many times where I've gotten up. People are like, oh, Rich just sits around and he don't do nothing. He tells people what to do. I got so tired of that. The one time I did do a day in the life of Big Rich here, and or OFR I called it. And I got up. It was 7 o'clock. I got to take over, and well, at that time I didn't have the day nurse that day, and I had to take care of Tracy. I had to straighten her up. I had to feed her. I had to change her. I had to clean up her bedding. I had to all this stuff. It took me like an hour and a half, and I never showed Tracy, but I had the camera on me working beside her. And you can hear me talking to her and stuff like that, because I always talk to Tracy. I explain to her what I'm doing. I'm pouring your food in the bag now, honey. Here goes your medicine. Okay, I'm stirring it up. All right, here comes your lunch. Stuff like I talk to her the whole time I'm there. So, then I went from there and I went outside and I put it on a tripod and I showed me working with everybody, because people don't understand community service. These people don't know what they're doing. These people have never been in a aquarium, working at an aquarium before, so they don't know what to do. And half of the people that come here are like, the kids at least are like sheltered. They don't have no clue what's going on. They will just stand around, and I have to tell them what to do and how to do and why to do it.
Community service.
Yeah. So I'm working with them, and I show everybody how hard it was to work with them, and then work, do the work I'm trying to get done, plus show them how to work and talk to them and do that. And then we get that done, and then we go in and we come in and I make lunch for everybody. And then we go back out and we do another job, and I'm working all day. And then after they leave at like 6 o'clock, at that time, I didn't have to start working for Tracy until I think 7 o'clock till noon at that point. And then I had to watch her from 11 o'clock until, 6 o'clock at night until I believe it was 11. Yeah, because she came in at 11 and left at 7 in the morning. At that point, it's all different now. But I showed all this, and then I showed this, and I was like, this is what I do in a day. And people were like, wow, that's amazing. It's crazy how much you actually do. And I'm like, people don't get it. I'll stop working and we'll be out there, and I'll stop working and then video them for 10 seconds, 20, 30 seconds for a little video clip, and put it back down and get back to grinding or working or whatever. And then I have to hear on there about how little I do, and I better stop telling these people what to do and get in there and work myself. Man, sometimes I just want to reach through there and grab them by their neck. Come here and do what I do for a day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. It gets me riled, but yeah, I've gotten over it now. People just don't understand and don't know. Raheem says, Rich make more funny videos. Well, it's hard to catch that stuff on, like when Josh fell in the pool the other day. Nobody had that on video. Reaper got a little bit when I grabbed his shirt and was pulling him back up, but nobody caught him tripping and falling into the pool, Actually, he was on his knees. He went to put his hand on the edge of the pool, and he missed the edge of the pool and went down into the pool and got the whole side of his head wet. He was laughing as I'm pulling him up out of there. We didn't get that. A lot of stuff happens that we just don't get on video, Now, once we're able to hire somebody and there's a video running 24 hours or 12 hours a day or something, that would be great. Then there's all kinds of stuff to edit from that. Shauna says that comment about writing the legacy for views was just ignorant. Was it you that deleted it, or did she delete it herself? I deleted that.
I can't delete anything on her channel.
It was on my channel, yeah.
Oh, there were some comments on her channel too.
On whose channel?
on the Legacy.
Oh, the Legacy Aquarium, yeah. On the
I mean,
bad comments,
they've got a hell of a lot more viewers.
I
so
saw like 300% was just so positive about
oh
OFR.
yeah, but there was at least a half a dozen nasties on there.
Really?
Yeah, and
They left them up?
nobody pays any attention to them. They just ignore them, let them run. They get the attention, then they keep coming back.
Jen says I might be dumb, but I can watch cichlid videos all day. You're not dumb, Jen. Not at all. I'm going to get back to this Nancy thing for in a minute. Aggressive Fish Lover says I only watch the videos with Jerry in them. He's my favorite character.
You don't watch many videos, do you?
Yeah, because now he's not going to be in any of them. Okay, let's go back and do this one. Nancy Conzal says, hey guys, let's hear some pros and cons of bare bottom versus sand or gravel. I'm trying to breed for the first time in 40 years and I'm loving bare tanks. Okay. The good part is it's way cleaner way. Okay. You don't have to gravel clean. You don't have dirt building up. You know, what you see builds up in the corner or something, you have a dead spot. You just reach in and vacuum that up real quick. Done. You're done. If you got current going around, you get a dead spot in the center, which the dirt will build up there. You just reach in and vacuum that out. You're done. It's so much better. And this is why I like my bubble walls. I have a bubble wall in the back of my bare bottom tanks, and it circulates the water in this direction. And then I have a FX5 in the one corner and a return in the other corner. Now water, goes in here, goes around like this, all the way through, and then it goes out on this side and goes through the canister and comes back in over here. I never, on those tanks there, I never have to clean up anything on the bottom, bare bottom, no cleanup, no nothing. The bad part, all that gravel is way more places you can have bacterial, filtration. So you have to run, your FX5s or the return through a wet dry and then come through, if it's not an FX5, I have a sump underneath and the water coming out goes through filter pads and then goes through bio balls, then gets pumped back up. So, I mean, that's the only bad part I see. And the look is bad. I mean, it's not as good as, some nice new gravel in there, some sand and nature and plants and stuff. That looks better. But in our purposes, I try and have everything bare bottom because that's less work on us, a lot less work. Keeping tanks clean and stuff like that. Plus, we have the system that has major bacteria and major plants and all that stuff that all the water runs through and goes back to the tanks. Is that a beep?
Yep. No. You
Yep.
bet that is.
Be right back. It's her finger thing. It keeps getting, every time she
Yeah.
talks, it comes off.
The biggest thing for me is that it's not a clear bottom tank. There's not, fish don't feel like they're hanging out in the middle of the air. As long as there's a surface below them. But myself, I prefer to just, I don't breed the fish breed. I like to set up a living ecosystem. When you're conditioning fish for breeding, you're not really getting them fat and healthy. What you're doing is convincing them that there's going to be food for the babies. There's more than they can consume. There's going to be food in the tank for the babies. Well, if you've already got life, micro life living in your tank, those breeders are going to know that there's going to be something there for the babies to eat, and they will go ahead and breed and raise the babies. If not, then they will eat the eggs, and the only way the female will lay eggs is because she has to, or she'll become egg bound. You can do all kinds of things to force them to breed, but I just assume I put them in the most optimum conditions I can give them. The tank is for the fish. It's their home. And I try to make the whole system live. I'm lazy. If there's a way them other critters can do the work for me in the tank, I can put together a balanced system that works. Even like Rich says, the point of that flow system is all the crud collects in one little corner. And you don't have to disturb the whole tank. You know? As a matter of fact, you can set the intake for the F6 up right where the crud collects. And it's almost a spotless system. But myself, I like a living tank in order to get fish to breed. You know, if they know there's enough places to hide, they won't hide. If they need cover above them, give them cover above them. And every fish is different. Even two species, fish in the same species don't always breed the same, don't always cohabitate the same.
But all in all, are you still on the same subject?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. All in all, on the bare bottom tanks, we like them better for the less amount of work we have to do here. But you know, one tank. Is that beeping again?
Yeah.
One tank is at somebody's house is nothing to take care of.
Yeah, in quarantine, I wouldn't go with nothing but bare bottom. I'd like some decorations in there only to keep the fish calm. Like I said, if it's got some place to hide, but I'm not trying to breed in quarantine, although it happens. You know, if the fish are conditioned, sometimes that fresh change of water is all it takes to trigger them. But, you know, there's all kinds of fish out there that we could breed, but we're not set up to raise babies. So why? Other than to keep the peace in that cichlid tank, breeding's what keeps the peace in there.
Chief Foster says, let's not talk about bare bottoms. This is a family channel.
I just said you didn't want the fish feeling like it's hanging out in the middle of the air either, man. You want a bottom in the tank.
Yeah, well, if I only had one tank in my house, I would not have a bare bottom.
No.
I would definitely have a nice natural bare, or
I wouldn't have nothing else in quarantine, though.
I do like, you know, like I had this red silk curtain material once,
Oh, yeah.
and I put that across the back, and it made it, the bubbles coming up look like just diamonds floating up, right? And I had blue gravel in there, and I was a very pretty fish tank. You know what I'm saying?
It would be, but it's.
But you know, more or less, if you have one tank at home, I would have a you know, bottom type material in there, and then it's on your taste from that point on. You want to go natural, you want to go, you know, pretty, whatever. That's on you guys. But one tank is not that hard to take care of, so I wouldn't say go bare bottom on every tank. But if you got a bunch of tanks and now you're getting overwhelmed, go bare bottom. It's much nicer.
Yeah, for breeding and grow out situations, yeah. As long as the fish are comfortable.
As soon as I come back, it jumps.
Oh, I missed one.
No, we're not there yet. It jumped.
It's 8:15.
Wow. Nate Achilles says Hoover's in prison. Not surprised. Matt LeMay says Prince is one underrated guitarist. Absolutely.
It's Jerry. Oh, boy, she ran.
What'd she say?
She told Steve earlier today that Jerry was like a friend sent from above. Thanks for real.
When's the last time you were called an angel?
I'm not even Christian, but I respect.
Oh, yeah, Matt. Oh, my God. Prince played on that solo for the solo for My Guitar Gently Reaps was amazing. Everybody, people in the people playing other instruments were looking at him like he was going off. That was amazing. One of the best solos ever. Dreamtime says I didn't mean that as if. Oh no, no. That's okay. You're okay. And he meant that people that can give their all to the content would do a better job at it. I know, it's okay. I did it first and I started off with, then I calmed down and I was like, okay, it's not a big deal. It's okay. Aggressive Fish Lover says most people don't know that Reaper was Rambo's brother and a war legend where he was given his name. Actually, I'm the reason his name is stuck all these years, because his name was Reaper in a video game, and that's how I met him. This guy hired me to go in and take out this whole slew of people that was in a group together, and that's what I did. And I came onto the game and I played my play, and within a week and a half, I took them all out. And Reaper wanted to know, because his friends thought I was this guy hillbilly that they were warring with, and Reaper wanted to meet me, and when we each met each other, I thought he was like some little, college kid, and he thought I was some college kid or something. And here we both long hairs, we both. It was something else. It was something else. We've been friends ever since, and I've known him as Reaper ever since, because that's how I met him. So it's been Reaper. I'm over his house and his family. Hey Vince, hey Vince, hey Vince. I'm like, who's this Vince fella people speak of? Well, that's Reaper. That's Ken's family. So the tanks overflowing on the water changes aren't staged? Absolutely not. That's all Jerry. 100% Jerry.
Yeah.
And our followers have sent in things to help Jerry to remember, water is running and he don't do it.
My next project is to go out and check the 3000 and see if it's crying again.
Hayden G says, I love OFR. It's my #1 channel. I love the realism and the drama of all of it. I get so pumped. Y'all work so hard. Keep doing it. It's pure gold. Well, thank you. Lori Clark says, I can barely handle my 150 and 200 gallon. And she says, I have big fish too. Oh, isn't that cute?
That 3000 out there is breathing right now. It opens up and flows a little bit, and then it'll close back up again. And then it opens up and flows a little bit.
Spaz and Fish says, hey, Big Rich, I'll be there Sunday. Like you said, you guys don't hide anything and make us feel like part of the family. That being said, I hope you guys are ready for me to talk smack and messing with you. We can take it as long as it ain't online. If it's online, we take a little offense to it at first.
Is that somebody we know, or is that somebody?
Yeah, who is Spaz and Fish?
Yeah, who's Spaz and Fish? That's always fun.
Oh. We only have 12 likes. Hit that like button, people. Grandma Vicky, she was here before, says, you're all doing an amazing job rescuing these fish. Please don't let people discourage you. Oh, we won't. We never will. Harley Jump says, more than 12. YouTube is sketchy tonight. Well, that's nothing new.
Yeah, really.
Aggressive Fish Lover says, was hoping Bashi would donate a nice sump to the rescue.
I don't know.
Adam Theek says, that tank behind you is absolutely stunning. That is the Bellagio. I guess it's an 1,800 gallon tank. It's 20 foot long and 4 foot tall, and it's full of cichlids. And boy, can you imagine all the hell I took when I left them some coral reef inserts in there? I was like, I couldn't cut them up and take them out the little holes. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave them. They're colorful. Cichlids are colorful. I'll fill it full of cichlids, and man, you would not believe the trouble that caused. So many people just hated on us.
It works with those Africans.
It does.
Lobo Lodge, $5.
Lounge.
Ah,
Lobo Lounge.
Lobo Lodge, Lobo Lounge. Okay, is that a kind of couch?
Lobo Lounge. You know, you go up and hang out at the lounge. Lounge.
Okay.
Lobo Lounge.
Well, you also lay down on a lounge.
I don't know about it.
It's a sofa. It's a couch.
Okay.
Everybody drink. How's the weather been there? Any bad storms? Can't wait to watch today's video later. Wow,
Happy Fishy Friday
up
from Colorado.
wow there.
Yeah, we had it was rain and tornadoes the other day, and I guess high winds because we set up our tent, or 30-foot long tent, and spiked it in the ground and everything, and woke up in the morning, it was over the neighbor's yard. So I thought, you know, it said it would, you know, 15, 20 mile an hour winds. I'm like, oh, that's nothing. We'll close all the doors because it was closed in completely. And then it won't, no problem. It won't be able, it wouldn't get in there to lift up on it. Boy, it sure did. It sure did. But thank you for the $5. The Lobo Lounge. And sorry for screwing up your name, buddy.
It's the First Nation in me. It just automatically looked like Lobo, Lodge.
Yeah.
You know, Wolf Lodge.
Jerry, if you're not free to leave, say spaghetti. Well, they're really on this tonight. Jerry is chained to the table. Don't clank your chains down there, mister. You'll know what you'll have to do later.
The only thing chaining me here right now is me. I really should be out closing up the fish room, but it ain't gonna kill him.
Harley Jim, as I watch my Corey's laying eggs. That's awesome. Divergent. Jerry, run. Now's your chance.
Aggressive fish like, go Jerry, go. And that's all I have to say about that.
Oh, man, come on. Here we go. What are you guys talking about? Jerry could do wonders if he left to his own. I don't know what he's to his own all day long out there.
They couldn't much leave me to my own any more than they do.
The heck?
The only thing I hear out of Rich half the time is out of the way, old man.
You'll have that. Well, I'm coming through. I got something to do. He's out there working, you know, out of the way, old man. It's our thing, you know.
Hey, it's a blessing to be trusted that way.
Rich, have you guys ever had issues with micro bubbles in your water during water changes? I have lost a few fish to the bubbles before. I haven't really. In saltwater tanks, yeah.
Especially a saltwater tank.
But I haven't really ever ran across that in freshwater. I mean, you set up a brand new tank, you got micro bubbles that you come back and your tank's all clean.
It's hyper-oxygenated, yeah.
Right. And it comes out and it goes on the glass and you wipe that away.
Yeah.
But I've never had fish die from it because I've never had fish in new tanks.
No.
You know, so I don't know.
It depends on what fish you're working with. Some are more sensitive to certain things than others. You know your fish. Do your research.
OBG Foster says, so is it staged when Reaper runs out of gas? Absolutely not. I can say with 100%.
Taking a ride with Reaper is an
It's
adventure
dangerous.
all on its own.
It's dangerous. Love you, Reap, but you're dangerous to ride with.
Hey, we took off to go get Rich some gas and diesel in those 3 cans.
Yeah.
I was so glad it was downhill that last couple of blocks to the gas station.
You ran out of gas.
You
ran out of gas going to get gas.
Pulled up to the gas and Phil had to fill up his car before we could pull around over to the diesel and fill the gas.
So you coasted into the gas station?
Not literally, but it was there.
Okay.
I mean, there was no cars in front of us and it was downhill and I'm going, yes, we're going to make it.
Mark Z says, no, Reaper runs out of gas, but actually not in a long time. Don't jinx us. That's our helper, Mark, that's always with Reaper. But no, Reaper just told me the other day he ran out of gas.
That was only about a month ago when we went out to gas for you.
Yeah, and it was only like 3 days ago that he told me he just ran out of gas.
Oh, he was going to run me up to get my cigars, and he said, "Well, we're going to go get gas for Rich first." If we'd have went for my cigars, man, we'd have. I go with him. I check the gas gauge. Somebody likes your hair.
Boo Boom C Nubbin. Okay. Love your name. That reminds me of like Jay and Silent Bob, Boom Boom Kitty Fuck or something like that. Love your hair. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. It's turning a little white anymore. I don't like that. Look on the sides where it's all brown and all in the back it's all brown. Like I just come turn around, I look 90 years old. Crazy.
Couch, everybody, or lounge, as the case may be.
Davenport. Oh, Lucas said, he told you to be there about 11, bringing the cart. So, Jerry, be ready. I'll be meeting you first. And don't worry with messing with you. We'll be family friends. Oh, no, that's all right. But I still sleep till noon. So, 8 to noon is the only time I get sleep. So, I'm sleeping. So, go ahead and bring your fish up at 11. Jerry will deal with it. And you guys will be out there, good old buddies by the time I make it out there.
We got that wallago coming tomorrow, too.
The Wallago, a 2.
Yeah.
Suann says,
known as a helicopter catfish.
Suann says, so what was Will Starr's excuse for not showing up for the trip? He has not been on the live stream since. He has not contacted me, has not talked to me, has not sent a message, has not apologized, nothing. He just didn't show up and haven't heard from him since. Oh, okay. Divergent says the Lobo Lounge was the bar or club on the original show, Roseanne. I remember that. They had pool table up there.
That explains a lot because I paid no attention to that.
Mark, you keep your comments. He says Lido Lounge. People don't know this, but Lido Lounge is a strip club. Okay. So we know what you've been doing, Mark. Oh, someone else just said something that jumped on me.
Hey, you jumper. Not so bad this time.
Right. Harley says, notice he hasn't shown here much either on the live stream. Give him a bit. He'll be back. He'll be back eventually.
Oh, he's got family.
Mark says the Lido Lounge was a strip club in class. No, it wasn't. You can go in there with a quarter and get a lap dance. It was on the corner of 117th and Madison in downtown Cleveland or in Cleveland. Grandma Vicky says, I love these fishy families or Fishy Fridays. Hayden's doing water changes as we speak. I'd have to stay in the fish room or I'll end up jerrying my whole room. You got a handle now. It's called, you pulled a jerry. Oh, that's hilarious.
We're going to have to get some more of these and start passing them out. Fish with badge.
Divergent, I can't believe you caught that. Rich said his hair is turning white, like Stewie says, cool whip. You know, everybody made fun of me when I was a kid because I said, what, where, when, why? Like it's supposed to be. Sorry. My sisters made fun of me about that. You guys don't know, but I've got one older brother, 3 younger brothers, and 3 older sisters.
Yeah, just stop and count.
I do. I'm like, okay, well, because you got to understand the 2 younger brothers was from my dad's next marriage. The 1 younger brother was from my mother's next marriage. The older brother was my dad's next marriage. She already had a kid, and that was Mike. So I grew up with him. And then my mom remarried and to this guy, Ken, that had 3 daughters, and they became my sisters. So I don't have no real full-blooded from the same mother and father brothers or sisters. But I lived with all these people growing up at different times in my life, you know. So I'm like, okay, with Ken, 3 daughters, okay, over here. It's hard to remember them all. I want to make sure I didn't lose it.
Oh.
Oh my God.
It's 8:30.
Is it?
Excuse me for ringing a bell or something. You don't have Tracy on your phone.
Everybody on here is like crossing their fingers. Jerry, don't mention the time. Jerry, don't mention the time.
Sorry, folks. See, if I get up and go do my chores, then there's no way to cover if Tracy goes off. And
I'd leave it blank. I'd go take care of Tracy.
Yeah, I know you would. But you guys just have to entertain yourself. As long as you all get along. If you don't get along, go play with yourself.
So Divergent is around us. He says, we're strip clubs with glitter in Lorraine. Strippers with back knee. No thanks. That Lorraine's right down the road from us. So Divergent, you're close. Have you been at the rescue before?
Has he been to that place before? Glitter, you call it?
Harley Jem says, yeah, screw you, Jerry. For the time. All right, guys. Like Jerry said, it's time to go.
I love you real people, man. That's straight out. Screw you.
And you guys are all talking about how Jerry's, chained to the table and he better. And here it's Jerry that's running the show and making me quit at 8.
Get out the whip. I love that thumbnail you did the other day with the preacher of the Black Lagoons and get back to work. That was good.
All right, guys. It was fun. Love hanging out with you guys. We didn't go on too much of a tangent tonight about music or records or anything, or food.
Just everything.
Yeah. So, Lori Petrosky says, love Big Rich's glasses. I think my mom was a foster parent or childhood, so I got about 6 sisters and 33 brothers through the years.
Oh, yeah.
And my bio parents only had me and other offspring. Okay, wow. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'll go back to watching Tracy. Nothing was urgent tonight. It was her finger thing that goes on there. Every time she coughs, she makes a fist and it bends off to the side or something. So I just have to go out there and wiggle that back on straight. No big deal. So she's okay. All right, guys, I'll see you next Friday. Take care. Now I gotta
stay fishy, my friends.
Yes, and stay fishy, my friends. Let me get to this one right here.
Travel well.
All right, here we go. Now I can do this. And